So I asked why they couldn't turn on the speakers, and seemingly it will draw crowds. And there's lots of people here behind the basilica, lots of people here over at the Apparition Chapel. So you can't even listen to the Mass here, knock outside the basilica. That's how bad things are. And another thing that struck me as I looking at the crowd that was in the basilica is there was only 2 children in the basilica. Yeah, it's a kind of a sad thing that we'll bow to every dictate from the state on this, that we're not allowed to have speakers at the Mass. Speakers, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. They don't want people here at knock. They don't want to encourage people to come to knock. Who is happy with what's happening in knock? Like, who is happy that that people are not coming to knock anymore? I just think I think they've lost all sense of supernatural faith in what they're doing here. At the end of the day, we have right as Catholics to worship publicly, and there's no end game to this at the moment. This is going to go on for a number of months, years, and is this how the faith is going to be lived going forward? Because we've never done this before. We've never gone for 8 months now without proper public. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, nearly on into October. What's it going to be like at Christmas that we can't have Christmas Mass? So guys, it's a bit sad. I can understand social distancing and so forth, but not to turn on the speakers here. What's that about? That you can't even go behind here at the basilica, stand behind the doors and listen to the Mass. They won't even let you do that. There's lots and lots of people. There's about 150, 200 people seated around here. They don't want this. They don't want people to knock. It's plain and simple. And this is, if you've never been to knock, this shrine, the grounds, there's plenty of space to social distance. You have probably, you have tons of space, tons of green space here, and in front of the chapel over there, you have tons and tons and tons of space. So it's not like you're on top of one another. Even on a very busy day here in Knock, you wouldn't be on top of one another. Even last year, it wasn't completely packed out. It never is. But if you don't fight for the faith now, who's going to fight for it? And I just suppose the saddest thing for me today, the saddest thing about Knock today, to look around Knock today, was it's elderly. It's the elderly that are being, left without the faith that they have lived forever, because it wasn't full of teenagers and children by any shape of imagination. But the car park is pretty full here. There's a lot of people here today, and I just think, yes, social distancing, yes, we have to stop the spread of COVID. Have Mass outside. Have Mass outside here. Have it here in the car park. Put an altar up here and let people sit in their cars. There are ways and means. Like if you just go around here and see, there's a pretty big car park. Lots of people here today. Have Mass in the car park. There are ways and means of ministering to the faithful. The Eucharist isn't a virtual event. The Eucharist, in 2,000 years of history, through very, very difficult times, through times far worse, through worse plagues, has never been a virtual event. And telling people to stay at home for months is wrong. And the hierarchy have got this completely wrong in Ireland. This virus is not going to kill 99.8% of the population. The average age of people who died of COVID-19 in Ireland, the average age, and I don't mean to be crass, but the average age was 84. The average age that people die in a normal year is 82. So, you know, I don't mean to be crass about it, but, you know, we are all going to die, and we shouldn't destroy our faith because of some overcautious doctors. There are ways and means around practicing our faith in community. You know, the faith has always been practiced in community. That's what ecclesia means, you know, and I think it's sad. It's sad what they're doing to the faithful here and to the elderly, because it's mostly elderly that are here in Knock. You know, we are, you know, that they won't even turn on the speakers. They won't even turn on the speakers. I thought maybe they were broken. No, they don't want people congregating here. They don't want people here in Knock. You know, and to see people come to Mass and being told to go away, you don't even have a chair to sit down outside some places here. Don't bow down to the destruction of the faith like this. Let people go to the Eucharist, to Mass. You know, this is our national shrine. You know, the Basilica of Guadalupe is enclosed in Mexico. You know, there's masses still in this Basilica of Guadalupe, and COVID-19 hasn't gone away in Mexico. So what are we going to do? You know, where are we going with this? Are we going to cancel Christmas now? We're going to cancel Christmas masses in a few months, because what's going to change? You know, flu season is the winter. You know, COVID-19 is going to disappear in the winter. It's going to get worse. You know, our vitamin D levels go down, and, you know, that's when flu spread. That's when we're more prone to infections. It's, you know, that's what's going to happen. So if we can't even celebrate Mass on a beautiful day like today here in Knock, when are we going to celebrate Mass? Have your Mass out here in the car park and let people go to Mass. Please.